Hey guys, how are you? This is Michelle Ray Smith. Welcome back to Show and Tell with Michelle on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. And today I am so excited because I have a really special guest that I cannot wait to ask questions to. I'm sorry, Will from ResellerMadness. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, everybody. So good to be here.
Oh my gosh. So how's your day going? How's your weekend so far? You were busy this morning,
My
right?
goodness, crazy busy. It has been amazing. This morning I was on Picker's podcast. So they interviewed me and we had a fantastic time. I had a fantastic time. I hope they did too. Um, but yeah, it went in my mind really well. And then this afternoon, I had something amazing happen. Do you mind if I just go on with this a little bit,
Go
Michelle?
ahead. I'm just trying to figure out how to turn off my phone because I was getting an echo. Okay, no, go ahead.
No
Please tell
problem.
me. Yeah,
So
tell me.
I went to an estate sale yesterday, and it was a neat little estate sale in a mobile home park. And the people that were running the sale were not professional estate sale people. They were friends and family who had helped this person out, and it was time to liquidate their estate. And so I went and I bought some things and wheeled and dealed, and I was one of their bigger sales that day. I picked up some electric typewriter stuff and odds and ends. And so I asked then, I said, well, what's going to happen at the end of the sale? And they said, well, we're paying some guy to take a bunch of it away. And I said, you're paying? They say, yeah, we're paying. I said, what if I just like take as much as I can possibly take and save you guys all of that? And they said, really? For real? I said, absolutely. They had a media room that was like wall to wall DVDs all over the place. They had hundreds upon hundreds of CDs. They had tons of clothing and collectibles and fine china and things. And I said, yeah, I can fit all of this stuff in my car. I'll just take it. They said, come back tomorrow at 3 and you can have whatever's left over. I came back at 3 and I kid you not, my car was so full. I'm driving like this with stuff piled here, hundreds, the thousands of pieces of media. It's just my living room right now looks like the Library of Congress media section.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
big day, busy day, all kinds of excitement. Michelle, tell me, what have you been up to?
What am I been up to? Ooh, yay, I love questions. Today, what was I up to? I actually was not doing anything exciting today. Let me turn this off. How do I turn this beeping off here with these people with messages? Okay, I don't know. I'm just getting used to this live stuff. Sorry. So what did I do today? I cleaned the house, and I do not like doing that because I would rather be listing, to be honest with you. But I did a little story this morning saying that sometimes just cleaning up your space, your monster pile and all this stuff, and keeping things clean, it totally cleans out your brain and it just helps you function better and be a better business person. So technically, cleaning is working.
Oh,
So
very much so. Very much so. If your workplace is attractively managed, you'll want to be there more. It's very motivational. Absolutely.
So I have a question for you. How did you decide to do this whole broadcasting, like your set? Tell me about how you decided to do the set, because I'm quite mesmerized.
Real quick, I want to say hi to some people in the chat. I see Dustin's here, McFlippinship. Hi, Dustin. Glad to see you. The Currys, hello, welcome. And Desert Sellers, hello, welcome. I'm glad y'all are here.
Hi, guys. So many new faces for me, Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Oh, yeah. So all of this stuff, this is kind of leftover inspiration from when I did a little bit of, I goofed off in Hollywood for a short time. I went on a few movie sets here and there and did a few projects, got a couple of credits on IMDb. But to me, the cameras, the lights, everything, this is second nature. And this is just kind of where I want to work. This is what inspires me. And I understand you've been around Hollywood a little bit too. You've been on some TV shows.
Yeah, I have. I've had a great life, a career full of different things in TV and film and modeling. And I don't talk about it too much because I get really shy, I guess, or whatever. But no, I've been very blessed. I was on Guiding Light for 3 years full time, which was fun. Was a soap opera.
Yeah.
And, I did Law and Order, and I was in Salt, Angelina Jolie. So me being in front of the camera, I totally relate to it. It's like the comfortable place. And that's what I was going to ask you, because I always take notes and was doing a little research. So Yeah, but I was gonna ask you, I have here, did you take broadcasting lessons? Did you take theater? Because there's something so fun and theatrical about I'm serious,
Oh my
about
goodness, you're too much. Thank you. No, no theater background whatsoever, but I did get a degree in film, so filmmaking, always behind the camera. I was production, so I did lighting sort of work. I've done some camera. I've done a little of this, a little of that, post production, some editing. Of all things, horror movies. Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Who would
yes!
who would have thought? But yeah, that's where that comes from. I was never in front of the camera until YouTube kind of just broadsided me, and I said, Sure, why not? The other resellers do YouTube. I may as well do YouTube also. Let's do it." And
Wow.
and that was we're almost a solid 2 years now. 2 years ago I started YouTube and took a while to find my voice. My early stuff is not very good, but I appreciate the people who hung in there with me for it.
The diehards, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
Wow. Well, this is, that is one of the beautiful things about YouTube and this whole social media craze that's happening. It really gives us the opportunity to have a voice. And with acting, it's just a complete crapshoot. It's a complete crapshoot. Like, I know people who went to like Parsons and were studying and doing all of this, and I never took like an acting class in my life, but I ended up being on a soap opera. I mean, it makes no
Uh-huh.
sense. I actually felt bad about it, but
Why?
I don't
Why?
know.
You had what they were looking for, and you were in the right place at the right time. I imagine that wasn't the first job that you tried to get either. You probably put out a lot of applications and a lot of I forget what are face sheets or thing.
But
A
yeah,
lot of
I,
the headshots and all those the CVs or resumes. You probably worked hard to get there. I think you
I
probably
did.
earned
I
it.
worked really hard. Yeah, thanks. I did. I did. Just like you. I mean, this is like being here on YouTube and doing this consistently. Is not easy. It's not easy. It's not like for me. I sit down and I don't do any of my work or whatever. But back to you. Back to you. I don't like talking about myself. So you've been reselling for 2 years. Okay. So what gave you the courage to just hi everybody?
More
I'm
like
Melanie.
4 years actually for reselling, 2 for YouTube. Yeah.
Got it. That's okay. So that's what okay. So for 4 years of selling two of YouTube. Okay. So with reselling, I watched a few of your videos, actually quite a few of your videos, and you seem to really be into media. And I was looking at what the little vintage Garfield. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? And then
Yeah.
after that, you had like this little plush thing too. I don't know. It was another like little figure. So, but it was toy related. Is that what you're attracted to when you are looking around or
I'm almost infinitely curious, so I'll just look up whatever's in front of me. "Oh, what's that? I've never seen that before. Okay, eBay, Amazon, okay. Hey, yeah, let's sell that." Um, I gravitate towards things I already know for sure, so 90s toys, yeah, I know a lot of those characters. I may as well jump into that if I see them.
yeah,
Video games, I grew up with that. I played so much Mario and so much Final Fantasy and a lot of the classic games. I played those growing up, so I just know them instantly. See them and go, "Oh yeah, that's one I'm familiar with. It's popular. Let's check that one out and see what
yeah,
it's worth."
yeah. Sometimes you just know and you just need to stick with things. Yeah, yeah. It's hard for me. I'm trying to learn a little bit of everything. And I don't know, when I first started out, I was watching some YouTubers and they were saying, diversify, diversify. And so I tried to do that recently. And I just feel like there's so much important knowledge that you need to know about certain things that if it's like a little tiny bit about a bunch of stuff,
Uh-huh.
don't really know like the ins and outs of a couple specific things, then you're like kind of just trying to keep your head across above water, and you're probably wasting money picking things that aren't really valuable.
Yeah,
So
it could be. It could be. You seem to post a lot of clothes though. You seem to know your clothes really well and post a lot of that. Is that really where you want to stay for the most part, or you would rather get out of clothes?
uh you know I do I do really love dressing women because I know it sounds funny, right? But I love dressing women. I love dressing plus size women to be specific. And I think that I'm drawn to that specifically because I do have the background in fashion. I do know what colors and what patterns are flattering. And I feel like women of a certain size don't get an opportunity to really have great clothes with great patterns that are super flattering. It's like you get
Hmm.
into a size of like 1X or 2X and they're putting like baby ducks on your shirt. No, I'm not joking. It's like you get
Uh-huh.
1X and then it's like, oh, it's, I don't know, flamingos. Like, what was this whole flamingo thing going on? I'm sorry, I'm not.
Nothing wrong with flamingos. I'm not going to turn my nose up at that.
I like
Hey,
to look at them,
real quick, Desert Sellers. Hey, how you doing? I see you in the chat. Welcome.
but Desert
Uh,
Sellers, hi. Thank
Melanie Marshall. Hi, guys. Hiya. How y'all doing?
Hi, you guys. Thanks so much for stopping by and checking out my series here. What I was going to say, Hotel with Michelle. No, Show and Tell with Michelle. So you can tell I'm tired. But welcome, welcome. So
You must have done a lot of cleaning if you're that tired.
you know what? I did a lot of cleaning, and it looks really nice. It does. Thank you. But yeah, I'm kind of pooped.
Good.
But I was excited to get on here with you. So where do you see your future going? So
Aha.
you do media. Now, before I say where you're going, let me ask you one question. Where do you store your stuff?
Right behind the camera.
You know,
Literally right there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, many shelves. Many shelves.
shelves, like the big
Yes.
ones from
I've got it's
metal.
a 1, 2, 3. It's a 5-story shelf with and I put those big Rubbermaid containers on it. The large,
Yes.
what, 36 quart or 52 quart, whatever those ones are that fit on the standard shelves you buy at Walmart. Yeah, those. And I like that because I can see through them and I don't have to dig through an entire bin to find the one odd shaped funky thing that fell to the bottom. In fact, and that happens a lot. I pick up a lot of odd shaped funky. Yeah. Anyways, I look around the bin. Oh, there it is. Got it. No problem. Done. There's other people that'll do straight cardboard boxes and put everything sequentially. And if your stuff is roughly the same size, that's a great plan. That works out really well. I would rather do that. But
Right.
because of the way I source, I can't be picky enough to just stick to one little niche. I source kind of a mile wide and an inch deep. But you were saying that that can lead to picking up stuff by mistake. What you'll do after you start seeing one niche and finding something valuable, and then seeing a different niche and finding what's valuable there, and a different one, you'll see a common thread of quality. And
Mhm.
within each of these, you look at your clothing, you know quality when you see it. Single stitch tee, for instance, is really hot right now. Everybody loves single stitch. That's a quality thing. It took longer to do the single needle rather than the double needle, and those are considered more valuable. You get a sense for other niches too, where those things are more valuable. Perhaps it's purses, and you know that certain type of stitching and certain type of material is more valuable. For me, it's collectability. A lot of these things that I'll pick up, this guy right here, it looks like a Nintendo DS, and everybody who would see it at a yard sale go, oh, it's a DSi, it's worth about 30 to 50 bucks just depending on the day and the condition. Here's the thing. I know enough to know that that right there on the back, it says IQ DS, is very uncommon. So I made a video about this. You might have seen it on YouTube or Instagram, talking about the difference between IQ DS and Nintendo DS. Nintendo sold these only in China and for a limited period of time, and used the brand name IQ to get around some kind of funky legal import-export stuff.
Ah.
And so having one in America where it was not distributed is pretty unusual. And so that
Mm.
bumps the value up somewhere in the 150-ish range on something like this, from 30 to 50 to 150. That there's just a quality thing you get from knowing your niche and knowing
Yeah.
what is common and what's uncommon. You see quality when you find it, and you can go from one niche to the next really easily because you'll know certain things to look for. That
Mhm.
that for me is just one instance of one of them. So you can do a bunch of niches well if you try to do a bunch of niches, for sure. But
Yeah.
it seems to me the people who niche down and really stick to one thing seem to be succeeding better, and they're able
Mm.
to maximize the return on their time, and they get good at sourcing that one thing. The person that comes to mind is what's his name? Daily Refinement. Ben,
Mm,
Daily Refinement. He niched down straight into clothing. And I think he even niched down further than that and he did a specific type of shoes and specific type of clothes and
mm.
was able to actually grow his business by taking on less types of inventory. And
Yes,
I followed that guy for a couple of years now. I love his stuff. If you get a chance, check it out.
I will. I just wrote it down. Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
for all
for
that
sure.
info on the how you store your stuff and the bins. That's what I do. I use the bins as well. But I know what you're saying about you. You're saying you say some things you see them and you just know.
Yeah.
Like, but we're always in this, we are in this position, especially at the bins, right? I feel so far away from you guys. Hi. So when you're at the bin, sometimes you don't have a chance to use your Google Lens, right?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you just have to know, like, boom, that's it. Boom, that's it. That's, you get the hang of that. And that's probably like with me, it is with the clothes because it's natural. And with you,
Yeah.
it's the 90s stuff you said. So
Yeah, 90s stuff and video games for sure. You'll have a little bit of intuition, and sometimes it'll lead you right, and sometimes it'll lead you wrong. But with more experience, you'll be right more often, for sure. Absolutely.
yeah. Oh, thanks. That makes me
Uh-huh.
feel good. I love learning about new things. I think that's the best part of reselling. It's like, I don't know. I love to figure out where things come from and how, how they work. And I am very intimidated by electronics. Electronics intimidates me. Are you electronics? You probably know a lot about electronics.
I've done electronics. There's nothing wrong with it. The issue is you test all your electronics before you send them. If you want to reduce your amount of returns that you get.
Yeah.
Oh, it's busted. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't play DVDs. Oh, it doesn't read the controller. If you
Yeah.
want to reduce all of those problems and keep things from being shipped out and then shipped back on your dime, you'll test them beforehand. Yeah, yeah. And if you're
Mm,
not into testing these electronics or you don't want to learn, don't do it. The
yeah.
worst thing you could do is start a niche that you don't want to do because your death pile will grow
I
and you'll
know.
never get around to listing it. You won't do it. This is something that I'm learning through a little bit of experience, and it's a little hard to let go of, I spent 25 bucks on that. Am I real am I really going to let it go? It's better to put it right in the garbage. Rachel Strickland had a one where she bought some movie posters and it turned
Uh-huh.
into a bad buy. And she
Oh
was
gosh.
so frustrated by these things because she felt ripped off, she felt misled by the seller. And so she did the smartest thing she could have. She took these things right out to the fire pit and dumped them in and lit them.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Save
Yeah.
save yourself time rather than
I
trying to
know.
squeeze every dollar out of a bad buy. Save yourself the time and use that time for something more valuable.
I
Always.
know, and you know what? That's such good advice because I was doing that with my bedroom. My bedroom looks like a bomb went off. I'm not even joking you. And a lot of it is just cheap, like stuff that I would wear from Mandy's or, like stuff, just cheap stuff, whatever.
Sure.
But it's not worth selling. It's not, so giving it away, and that's such a good point. Giving it away
Mhm,
and just not dealing with it. Plus,
mhm.
I know, is this really bad? But I only like to take pictures of the things that I really like. I don't want it to, you know
If
what
it if it motivates you, stick with it.
Oh, yeah,
Seriously. Yeah.
yeah. So, how many listings do you do a day?
How many did I do today? Well, if I had 0 fingers, I could count them all.
Yeah, but you did 2 shows,
I
though.
did, yeah, I did no listings today. I did some listings yesterday. I'm not an everyday lister. There's just too much going on in life for that. But I squeeze in the listings when I can, and I like to do drafts. I do the photography, and then I will make a draft, and my wife will complete the draft and just do it. So we kind of have a partnership on that. I get it started, and she finishes it off. And that way, if I just keep filling up her to-do list bin, and she just keeps emptying it, we got a good workflow.
That's great that you have some help. That's so
Oh
great.
yeah.
Even oh, yeah, especially, do you know approximately so wait, now let me get to the question up because whatever, everybody asks you, "How much?" Great. Okay, so, um, where do you see yourself going? Do you see yourself? You're so resilient. You're so like, I was actually thinking about it. I'm not sure who smells more, me or you. Because you're all
That's a
smiling.
good competition. I like that one.
I know. And I
Wh
was like, I
where are we
don't know who smells more, Will or me.
I just love it. We could make Dennis so happy by watching this show. Check that. All right, so, where am I gonna go? Other than, just kind of
After
continuing the
this.
YouTube thing. I would like to work on getting into wholesale more than anything else. The yard selling is fun and it's
Mm,
joyful. I love meeting the people at the yard sale. I love the unusual finds, the thrill of the hunt. All of that is wonderful. But really, ultimately, what I'm trying to do with reselling is create a stronger stream of income that just continues to build on
yes.
itself, stronger and stronger. I want replenishables, and that's going to be the future for me. Calling up suppliers. Hi there, I want to start a wholesale account with you. Here's
Yes.
my information. Here's my LLC. Here's all my stuff. Yeah, here's my sales certificate. All that good jazz. So I see this year being big on actually talking to wholesalers. And frankly, that doesn't make really exciting YouTube material. Here's me on the phone for another 6 hours. Here's me receiving the boxes. No, I'm not going to unpack them. They're going to the prep center. But I'm really looking forward to that because that's more where I'd like to end up is wholesale, white label, private label, and those are going to be less involved streams of income for me. I'm not going to be doing listings all day long. I'm not going to
Mhm.
have a death pile anymore in the future. But in the interim, while I'm kind of building up capital to get to that point so I can make big deals with these wholesalers, yeah, absolutely. I'll keep on doing what I'm doing and more so.
That sounds like a great plan, and it's something that I've also been thinking about doing myself, and
Hmm.
reached out to a couple people already to kind of have a discussion about it. And yeah, times are changing. There are so
Yeah.
many more people getting into the business now, and people need to put gas in their cars, and they need
Hmm.
to buy cute clothes for their kids, but they can't afford it. So I think we're in a really great position, except, well, we're not because we have to come up with, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, the glass is half full with me, but not that time I couldn't swing it. So yeah, it really stinks kind of, but you just have to be more
it's
creative. It's just,
No, it's perspective. I think every time that there's a change, there's an opportunity. And there's lots of
yes.
changes going on right now. The thing is that these opportunities may open and close very quickly, so you got to jump on it pretty quick.
Mhm.
For instance, the estate sale that I went to yesterday, that was a 2-day opportunity. There was no wiggle room in there. I had to make it work. You jump on the opportunity when it's in front of you. Maybe for me in the future, it would look like a wholesale opportunity where I got to talk to this wholesale account guy before he goes off onto vacation. Because when he comes back from vacation, he's talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it could be something like that. You're talking about maybe more economically, people are going to be looking for additional streams of income, and so there could be additional um, uh,
Competition, I think.
competition. Yeah, competition in the market. There could be more sellers and fewer buyers. I
Yeah,
see different opportunity. I see things changing.
me
People
too.
don't stop spending at all. They don't stop spending, but they change what they spend on. And so
Mhm.
changing from right now, I sell a lot of non-essentials. I sell a lot of video
Yeah.
games. I don't know if the video game market's gonna be super strong next year or even this year. I don't know. It could tank, and I could need to pivot to more essential things. So I've
Mhm.
been looking for the last 6 months for more essential items to pick up. I'm interested in things everybody's gonna need,
Yeah.
especially here's a tip for listeners. Um, the number one way that people are trying to cut costs right now, when anybody does a poll, they say, "How are you looking to cut costs?"
Mm.
Every single poll that I've seen, they all say, "I'm going to eat out less." Now, what's that say for a reseller? What should a reseller hear when they hear, "I'm gonna eat out less"?
I'm not gonna be getting dressed up as much.
I'm gonna mm, hmm, maybe. I was thinking I was thinking, I'm gonna be cooking at home.
Mm.
I'm going to need something to cook at home with. I'm going to need utensils. I'm gonna need mixer. I'm going
Yes.
to need pans. I'm going to need, um, maybe non-perishables, things that are easy to ship. You can ship cans
Mhm.
of food, you can ship dry food, you can ship all kinds of things. Uh, that are not maybe, fresh produce. You can ship all of these things and people are going to be buying them more because they're not going to be eating out as much. They're not going down to Little Caesars or whatever as
Yeah.
much. At least that's what their stated plan is. So I've been kind of looking a lot more into kitchen stuff lately. And I'll
Mhm.
let you know how that turns out.
Yeah, let me know how that turns out. And I really love the way that you are anticipating what's coming next. And I can relate to that because I've only been selling for 2
Mhm.
years. I'm really excited because this year I kind of feel like I'm getting my groove on. So because I was in fashion, I'm always looking to the next season. So I surprised myself on this, you guys. I'm honest. I shit. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. But I try hard. I work hard, and I keep a positive attitude. But what was I going to tell you? Oh my god, I spaced out. I was telling you about.
I was just enjoying the story.
I was going somewhere, and then I got distracted. Okay, so you know what? I have this fun thing that I started, and I didn't really start it. I'm borrowing this. It's called "What's Your Word" by My Intent. I have nothing to do with them, but it's a fun question that you get to pick the card, and it's like a little bit more. It's a little deep, so we get kind of a sense of maybe a little different side of you. Christine and
Do
Ryan had great questions. Mhm.
do I have to answer seriously or can it be silly?
Serious.
Oh, oh no.
Oh, I'm going for the
Dustin, I don't know if I can do that. Dustin,
I'm
man, help me out in the chat.
I'm going for the jugular. Okay. Are you feeling lucky today?
Sure, let's go for it. I
Okay,
want
tell me
I want
when.
that card. That
This one?
that no, the other one. That one's okay. That's okay.
This one? The one? The one next to it.
Choice paralysis.
I
Yeah, I love
know.
that. I love that one. I love
This one.
that one.
Okay.
Sure.
This is it.
Yes,
Okay. So
that's
here
totally what I pointed at.
is your word for the day, Hall. Okay. Okay. We had this one the other day. No. Oh, okay. I'll ask you. Okay. Did you hear this? Did you
Is
hear the other
is
one?
this a repeat?
It's a repeat. Can I just you are so lucky that you got the same damn question as
That
yesterday.
that wasn't the one I pointed at anyway. It's fine.
I don't no, I'm not letting them have that one. Okay, pick one for you. Okay, here we go. Ooh, this is a great one. Okay, you're gonna like this one. What is something new that you recently tried and you loved?
Oh, you're gonna laugh at me so much. This is a serious answer, but it's gonna come across not okay. I have quit sugar for the most part, which was a really good idea on my part. It has helped me a lot emotionally. It's helped with my energy. It's helped with my sleep and things. I'm on a very low sugar diet. And as a result, I'm able to taste a lot more things and enjoy a lot more things that I didn't enjoy before. Things that I never would have tried, "Oh, this vegetable over here. Um, I'm actually enjoying things such as Brussels sprouts. I'm enjoying casseroles that I didn't like before. I'm enjoying a lot of things. I'm drinking my coffee black now with no
Whoa.
sugar at all and really loving it. And I had a piece of burnt toast not too terribly long ago. And I looked at him like, I hate burnt toast. I've never tried it. Whatever. I'm not going to waste a piece of. I got too darn thrifty. I said,
That
I burn
happened.
it and I'm going to eat it anyway. And I took a bite of this. And I'm like, wait a second. People have told me they like their toast dark too. And I could get used to this. I'm not gonna. But that is interesting enough, and I don't hate it. So that
Wow.
so that is something, a serious answer, 100%,
No,
that I
that's
didn't
great.
expect to like, and I tried it, and it turned out well after all.
So let me ask you, thank you. See, this is how fun this game is. I just think it's so
Uh-huh.
fun because this is something that no one would ever probably ask you. So have you noticed? So when you went through, did you go through like sugar withdrawal? Did you
No,
have
actually,
headaches?
not at all. No, I used to start my day, get this, I started my day, I'd eat my breakfast, bowl of cereal, sugary cereal, of course, and then I would go and I was trying to get some extra meat on my bones. I wanted a little more weight. I was trying to get to a healthy weight level. And so I would eat a bowl of ice cream every single morning, a bowl of ice cream to try and put calories on. Uh-huh. And it was more of a discipline than it was really something I wanted to do. I knew I needed to gain weight. Wasn't working. I was eating dessert. I was having sodas, and I felt like crud, and I slept like crud, and I got
Yeah.
jitters and shakes, and I couldn't tolerate caffeine. And I stopped sugar because I said, you know what? I got to just try something else. This isn't working. Try something else. And it was the best choice I ever made. I can't say that would work for everybody, but it was a great choice for me.
Wow! Yay!
Yeah.
What a good
Yeah.
answer. Thank you. That was
True.
awesome. Yay!
Yeah.
See, that's what I
So,
want. I want this to be like a
mhm.
talk show kind of thing where we can talk about other things as well. I had such a incredible time with you. I know you're tired. Look how cute I'm still doing. Do it again. Oh my God. Yes,
Oh,
product placement. Do it again.
ooh.
Okay, that's a good
Hey,
idea.
there we go.
Oh my God, it tastes so good. It's so sugar and it's black.
Have you watched Keith's stuff, Pick Preacher? I
No!
love his stuff. He is hilarious.
Picky.
This guy, let me bring it back up just for kicks. Here we go. This is my buddy Keith. Yeah, can we focus on that? The
Yep,
Pick
yep.
Preacher. He is newly full-time reseller. He sold his, I think it's a lawn care business, and he sold that and went full-time into reselling. Just jumped in both feet, and he makes content along the way, and his wife edits the content for him. He They just had a baby like a month ago, and they didn't even stop the reselling. They didn't stop the content creation. They just kept on rolling. The whole family is part of it, and his
Wow.
comedic timing is brilliant. I love it.
Cool. I'm
I
totally
love it.
gonna have to check him out. And you gave me two good ones to check out. I have them written down over here.
And
Thank you.
Dustin, man, Dustin, I need one of your stickers so that I can show off your stuff too. Send me some stickers.
Kudos to Dustin for helping me with everything. I can't even tell you. So, you guys, everybody who stopped in to say hi, I'm so appreciative and so grateful. And thank you for spending some time with me and giving us such great tips about shipping and I mean, everything. Jeez, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this just to take notes. Thank
Hey,
you.
you know where to find me. You can always ask. Um,
Thanks, Will.
yeah. How long do we have? Do we have a bunch more time, or
We
are
can
we
talk
running out?
as long as you want to talk. I don't want to take
I've
up
got
tonight.
I've got a story I've never told before on any of these shows. I've never told this one before. Plan is to make a video on it later on, but do you kind of want a preview?
Yes!
I'll tell you the story. All right. I'm going to tell you about the time that I nearly died reselling and was saved by a hot dog restaurant.
What city was this in? What
Oh
city?
yeah. This is Sacramento. This is where I pretty much where I live, where I go around. So this was early on in reselling. I think maybe I wasn't even actually trying to be pro at it. I was just picking up video games for my own personal collection, and I would zoom around town on my bike. I have a road bike, and I was riding that, and I figured I'll get some miles in. I'll put a backpack on and just pick up stuff and put it in the backpack. And people would always tell me at the sale, how are you going to buy anything if all you got is the backpack to put it? I said, that's my budget plan. If it doesn't fit in the backpack, I don't take it home. I broke that rule.
Can tell
I
me.
went like 12, 14 miles way out of the way. I went up into a town I never go up to. Nice area town, real nice. I bought some nice stuff. I bought too much nice stuff. It didn't fit in my backpack. I picked up a computer case, one of those desktop computers, and I had it on my arm as I'm riding my bike. And I'm riding through town with this. I'm like, it's 100 degrees outside. It's the summertime. I didn't bring any water. What am I doing here? Oh, look, another yard sale. So I go to the other yard. I
Breaks.
bought more.
No!
I put bags on my handlebars. I'm like, guys, I'm doing so great today. This is going to be an amazing sale. I got so hot and overheated while I was still way far away from home
I'm
that
sorry.
I couldn't carry this thing anymore. I had this computer under my arm. I ditched it in a dumpster
What?
and I limped my way back home. I got 3 miles from home and I couldn't go any further. And so I like limped over to this sidewalk and literally flopped down on the ground in front of a hot dog restaurant, laying on the ground at their doorstep, at their doorstep. And this guy comes walking out and he goes, "Hey, buddy, are you okay there?" I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, "I'm an EMT. You want me to call 911?" I'm like, everything's blurry and all, and I'm just trying to like stop sweating so that I can get up and get inside. No, I'm fine. I'll go inside. It took me like 10 minutes, something like that, on the ground there before I limped into the restaurant and took my bike with me. I don't even remember if I took any of the stuff inside. I might have left that on the curb. And I get into the restaurant and I'm shaking because I'm all dehydrated. I'll take a cup of water and whatever number one is. And they brought it out to me, and
Oh,
I like put my head on the table and I'm sipping the water trying to revive. It probably took me half an hour to revive. The story ends well. I revived. My gratitude goes out to that place. It was in business at the time. It's called Knuckleheads. It was based on like the Three Stooges sort of thing. They had Larry Moe and Curly, and I think they had Shemp hiding somewhere off in the corner there. They had all kinds of stuff from the Three Stooges,
oh
and
no.
they had hot dogs and all of that. And my gratitude forever goes out to that place who literally saved my life while I was out oversourcing. I managed to get home. I just kind of like rode my bike at a very leisurely pace home. I got home and flopped down, and I think I just rested for the rest of the day.
But the real
So
question
that
is, did you go back to the dumpster and get the
no,
you did?
nope, nope, done
Well,
with it. Nope. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. When I make a rule about sourcing, I stick to it now.
good, you're a man of your
Um,
word, right?
So that is the story that I've never told before, how I almost died sourcing and was
So
saved by a hot dog restaurant.
thank you for saving that story for us.
Oh, yeah.
Hot dogs and reselling. I'll never think of those two things again together like that. Oh my goodness.
Dustin, man, you're welcome, definitely. I'm glad I finally got to share that one. I'd love to make a great dramatic movie on that video on that one. Haven't gotten to it yet. Maybe in the future.
Do you know that I worked with Robert England
Who's
on a
tell me
horror
again who
film?
Robert England is. I'm sorry.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
Yeah, I did a horror film. It's really bad though. It's really bad.
You
But
too, huh?
there are like people parts in the back of this van in this one scene, and it's so cheesy. Oh, so if you like, yeah, he's
Mm-hmm. You
uh,
know, there was a time when I watched, like, practically every horror movie that was in Blockbuster in the horror section. I just went through systematic bum, ba bum, ba bum, watching them all. That season of my life is kind of over, and I moved on to happier and more joyful stuff. Kinda I dig the happy
good
genres
films.
these days. I like Pushing Daisies is one that I just adore. It's
Really?
such a yes, and
Pushing Daisies.
Pushing Daisies. Uh-huh. ABC, award-winning something or other. They had 2 seasons. The first season is fantastic. It's glorious. And the second season, they suffered from some writers' issues and things, some changing of the guard, and, the first one was better, but man, there's
Okay.
no series like it. Never been another one. So bright, so cheery, so saturated, and everything is pushed so far beyond reality into a near cartoony, but still real
Ooh,
life real life action, show. Beautiful drama. Beautiful. A
well,
lot of comedic elements. Highly recommend it.
yeah.
And okay, now I'll tell you why I like it so much. I actually worked on some pieces for it.
Oh, you did? What
Mhm.
pieces did you work on? That's really
Some some appliances and costume sort of pieces. I was at a effects studio interning, spent a year interning at that studio and got to work on a few of those pieces that they had. There was, there was a leg prop that was, like, cast off of a real person's leg that they needed for, like, a sort of sitting on a shoulder sort of scene. I got to work on part of that.
that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, some costume things, a couple of, like, appliances and things.
You said lighting, and I always laughed at everybody and said, the two people that you want on your side, the director and the guy who's in charge of lighting.
Uh-huh.
Because the lighting guy always makes you look great, so you wanna get on the good side, the lighting guy.
Your makeup person too. They're worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, yeah. So, that's hilarious. So your wife helps you out a little bit with shipping and and is that what you were saying with the
She does
shipping?
mostly listing, but yeah, she'll jump
Yes,
in and ship
yes.
if I'm too busy with something else. "Hey, can you ship that for me?" "Yeah, yeah, no problem." She helps me with inventory. When I lose something, she'll go looking through the bins with me.
Oh, well, that's
Mhm.
oh, the
Well, it
best.
was it was in bin A, and, well, I found it in bin Z. I don't know why, but yeah, it's there.
Yeah, it's sometimes when I get I get a lot of one thing in different sizes. Like maybe it'll be a nice nightgown and it's black, and I'll get 15 of them in all different sizes. It's like as soon as I hear that ding, you've, accepted
Mhm.
offer, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go into the laundry right now. Like it just freaks me out because I have to organize that a little bit better. But yeah, oh my gosh. Oh my
One thing at a time. Just improve one thing at a time. And if you just go sequentially, a little here, a little there, improving it, you'll end up where you want to be.
Yeah, I'm really happy with I want to say hi to Mountain State Pickers. They just popped on and said hi to you. Will.
Hi, Mountain State.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah, I've been doing it for 2 years, and I started. I'm a single mom, and I have a 14-year-old. So I needed to have some flexibility with my schedule and still be able to make a little, an income part time, like I said. And it's just been great. But one of the really cool things, and I'm not just saying this totally from the totally truthfully, the group of people that I have been starting to become friends with and just comment with have been really nice people. Like I know that nothing's perfect and whatever, but it seems like the community of people that we all the good people, like we all want what's best for each other,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
and that's why you have abundance, because you are helping, you're telling people, you're talking about things that make your business easier, and then here you go, you get this wonderful opportunity to have this whole place to yourself. So you had this entire, what was it, a storage unit? I'm sorry.
No,
Listening.
it's literally just my
It's a
garage.
house.
2-car garage. Mhm.
It was in the
Mhm.
garage. So you're in the
That's
garage.
that's where I am right now. The washing machine right over there, but you wouldn't
No
know it. You wouldn't
way.
know it from this.
And then straight in
Yeah.
front of you, you've got all the, oh my, have you ever, I'm not going to ask you to show it. Okay. I'm not at all, but I'm just saying, have you ever done like a tour at all?
No, I really haven't, and I'm kinda saving that for later on down the road when we've built up enough people that would be, like, shocked and amazed. "It's been in there all this time?"
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so we'll get to that later
Yeah.
on.
That's smart. That's good. Kind of like save it, put it in your back pocket and save it for later kind of a thing.
Mhm, thinking down the road. There's stuff I'd like to make right now, and that's
That's
something
what
I'd
I was
like to make in the
going to say.
future.
Yes. I totally spaced out and had like a senior moment. I went on and was talking about being in fashion and buying for the next season. So I was talking about Valentine's Day, and I started talking about Valentine's Day the end of December because a lot of people think, oh, Easter's the next thing
Yeah.
coming up for.
Uh-huh.
So you have Valentine's Day, and I shared it, and I was hope I was hope. I mean, you never know if it's actually they're going to sell or not, but they sold. So everybody who has nightgowns and Valentine's Day stuff, if it's still in your closet, please put it up. And then the other thing, and that's what I loved about you anticipating, with your food in your pots and pans, is spring break. Do
Oh,
you know how
yeah.
many likes I got on bathing suits this weekend, you guys?
Huh.
3 bathing suits. I know it's spring break. So I'm gonna go through my closet, get out my cute little, shorts for boys, little cute t-shirts I have and things like that. Anything for spring break. And then Easter. So it's like, it's like, I mean, Groundhog's Day is coming up too, but we don't really need to. I mean,
Not
what's funny Phil though?
Yeah, I don't know how many people buy groundhogs on February 2nd, but who knows? Maybe
Somebody
it's an untapped market. It could be the newest thing.
taxidermy.
Yay!
Yay!
Real quick, Mountain State Pickers, you working on many Lego sets? That VW van was my favorite. Thank you so much. That was the VW van they're talking about, in case you guys haven't seen it. Yeah, I
Wow.
put it on a pedestal. This was from a large Lego pickup that I had. There was probably 40-ish sets and then a bunch of miscellaneous ones I couldn't put together. I paid in the neighborhood of like $50, $60 for the whole set of Legos, and I ended up pulling close to 2,000 out of it.
Holy cow.
My kids saw the Legos and I said, "Dude, do you guys want to build my Legos for me?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I would
No.
figure out what the sets were there without the manuals. I would look for an unusual piece and be like, "Well, that's a weird canopy window thing. Let's find out what that goes to. And I'd just find the unusual pieces and assign them to sets and have my kids build that. And they would pull all the pieces and build it. And then I would photograph it and sell it. And they're going incomplete Lego sell on eBay. You can sell an incomplete set. Well, here's your van, but it's missing a wheel. Here's your bulldozer, but it's missing the front scoop. Here, it doesn't matter. People still buy it.
Really?
Here's just the minifig all by itself. I sold one minifig for $105, $110 plus shipping. Yeah, one minifig by itself. It was a rare one from early 2000s. So the VW van that Mountain State Pickers is talking about was almost, it's like 99% complete. And I put it on this rotating pedestal so that it would spin in 360 and you get to see it, right? There's no parking brake on it. And my desk was just a little off and it boom,
No.
hit the ground and exploded.
No.
So you can find my reel there. It's somewhere hidden down in my reels of the VW van falling off and the aftermath of it on the ground. It was
You know, the one that I really loved, I have to tell you, was the one about the tape where you couldn't get the tape. Oh man, how many times you were like, "Ah," and the thing, and then you're up like looking at it in the light and you're picking at it at your finger.
No, and you're like, what if I just sneak up on the thing? I look away, like, huh?
And then I just get so
Uh-huh.
pissed. I'm like, just like whatever. I don't care what piece comes off first. It could be the
Throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash. Get a new one. This one's clearly defective.
You didn't see that. You guys have to check it out. It's short but super cute. Super, super cute.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So am I working on any other Legos? I've actually wound down the Legos now, and I'm starting to pull together like the photos of the Legos and ones that sold and pull together. I just downloaded last year's spreadsheet from eBay. So I can pull together all exactly the Legos that have sold and find out the exact dollar values and make a video on how that all turned out, because I had a couple people asking for it. So am I making any more Legos? Not at this moment. We're pretty much just about done, and I'm looking forward to releasing some content on that.
Yeah, that sounds great. I don't know anything about Legos. Melanie says, I feel like you could be a good magician. Yes.
I am really
I
good.
don't know who you are, but you're awesome, because that's a wizard or a wizard. And with this,
You know, I'm fantastic at making food disappear.
you are. I have that same exact gift, except it starts at like 11 o'clock at night. So we're working on it. We're working on it. So yeah, I'm trying to think, is there anything else happening that we want to share? Sounds like I think you've covered it. I think this was really good.
Yeah,
I like your answer about what you recently loved and tried. That was pretty cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Mountain State says that would be cool. Rachel loves Legos. If she sold her sets in a few years, she could retire.
Whoa.
There's a lot to that. I've got a buddy who's been collecting Legos since he was born. And so this was 1980s, 1989, something around there. He's been just collecting sets new, keeping them. And he had, last I saw, a whole entire trailer full of Legos, like a storage trailer full. And that was 10 years ago, last time I saw his collection. He compulsively buys them and just stashes them away brand new. Yes, probably retirement is actually completely in the cards if he were willing to let go of them. Yeah.
Whoa. See, I have a really bad experience with Legos. I'm stepping on them in the middle of the night with bare feet. And after that happened, I was like, you know what? Name it Legos. I don't know. We'll play with something a little larger. And then it's dog bones, like Nyla bones, or it's Legos that you see in the middle of the night if you guys have animals. So
nah, we keep them all in one room. They stay in that room, and that's the room I don't have to walk in too terribly much. So it works out well in our case.
Mine are down in the crate right now, like mom. But yeah.
Oh, the dogs?
My 2 dogs and 2 cats.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I don't have pets. I was talking about Legos.
You know, I really appreciate you telling me about the Legos, and I appreciate Dustin telling me about like skates and baseball mitts and baseball glove, baseball gloves. Those are things that when I go into a garage sale, or I don't even know what I'm very sporty, but I don't know what to look for. I don't know what's of value.
Sure.
So thank you about the Legos.
Just look it
That's
up.
really
Just look them
interesting.
up one at a time. You're at a sale, don't know what that is? If you don't have time to look it up at that time, you can
Yeah,
just snap a quick video, grab your phone. I don't have my phone here. It's gonna be in my remote control. Grab your phone and just take a video of all the stuff on the table you wanna look up later, and that way you can find out what to do research on without having to buy it.
oh, and
Yeah.
how do you know that people don't come up and snap them up? They might, right? But you just to
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
they might. I'm more thinking just long term. If you're just trying to learn the niche,
Oh,
you know,
I got it.
if
Okay.
you're willing to take the chance and just buy it on the spot and go, "That looks quality. I'll buy
Yeah,
that. It's cheap enough. I'll throw a couple of bucks at it and see if I win." But if you're not willing to do that and you just want to learn, go ahead
yeah.
and take a video of it, and when you go home, go, "I need to learn something. I have a few minutes. Let's just look up that item that I saw earlier."
That's a really smart way to do things. I know that I probably shouldn't do this, but when I'm on my way, driving around or whatever I'm doing, I like to listen to YouTube videos when I'm driving. I don't
Yeah.
watch them, okay, but I'll listen to them. And I like the nurse picker. She has some really cool stuff on her.
Yeah.
She had,
That's
like
Cat, right?
cat, yeah,
Cat is yeah, she's fun.
yeah. So I've learned quite a bit about things from her, vintage jewelries and bud vases and things like this, um, and names. So yeah, I think it's important to continually keep learning, and however that is, whether it's reading, looking stuff. If you're a busy mom and you're driving around, like I said, pop on a like you.
Constantly, constantly
Yeah,
learning. Mhm.
constantly. That's what's fun about it.
I wanna say hi to Kristen, Rural Squirrel. I can't say your name. I try all the time. I can't say Rural Squirrel. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome.
Hi, Rural Squirrel. I heard very nice things about you. I'm Michelle. Welcome.
Uh, who's another good one? When you're trying to learn niches, Don the Auction Professor is fantastic. I
Don
love
who?
Don. Don the Auction Professor.
Oh,
He's
cute.
great. He does a lot of vintage. He's really into old paper stuff, ephemera. So greeting
No! Paper? I
yeah.
love paper. Oh my gosh. I just
He'll pull out a box and say, "Hey guys, do you wanna know how you can put $20,000 on a shelf? Here you go," and show you a box like this. That's it. He's like, "This is $20,000 worth of 1900s paperwork. This is Christmas cards. This is cigarette wrappers. This is thing," and he'll just show you exactly what it is. This is really valuable because it was the smaller size, not the bigger ones. This one is really valuable because this has
ooh,
the old version of, I don't remember, some celebrity or something. So I love Don for that, and you can get really into the weeds on his whole vintage ephemera stuff if you so chose to, if that's the kind of thing you wanted to source. He does a lot of old toys. He does um, pretty much everything old. Buttons, lots of buttons, metal buttons and things,
buttons.
military buttons. Yeah.
I think I saw those on your channel today. You had
hmm
something on buttons, didn't you?
I threw a few buttons up. I was
I
inspired by
saw.
Don.
I was like, I
Don
just saw something about that. Yeah.
Don inspired me to literally go to the thrift store and pull open the drawer that had all the buttons and go, "Everything that's shiny, you're mine," and just grab it all and walk up to the counter. "Let's make a deal on the buttons." And they're counting 1, 2, 3. I'm like, "How about just $10 for the pile? 5, 6, 7. I guess not $10 for the pile."
Isn't that so? I had somebody do that to me the other day. I went to my first storage unit. I'd never been into one, and I hadn't. I think I talked to you guys about this, and I handed my card out to Barb last summer, and I was so overwhelmed with everything, and I was all by myself, and it was great. But I mean, I really only know like the clothes, which is fine. That's fine, except I'm like, I need another house, dude. I have no like, the clothes are big and the jackets are big. And
Mhm.
my friends are like, Michelle, listen, you need to like get into something that doesn't take up so much space. So we're working on it. This is my 80s. This is one of my I sourced this 80s brooch,
It's
and
beautiful.
Thank you. I
It's
learned about it from the nurse flipper. I know it's really
it's
unique.
turquoise?
Yeah, it's like turquoise, and then there's a triangle, and there's triangles and squigglies. And in the 80s, they had all those triangle squiggly kind of things, and they were like turquoise and black. And yeah.
Uh-huh. The
So this
geometric thing.
one, what?
The geometric thing, that was huge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is one of the things that I picked up from watching the nurse flippers. So that's pretty
So
fun.
cool.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I mean, some days for me, I'm really busy, and there's other days where, like, the last 2 days have been slow for me, and then it'll pick up, and then it'll be busy. But it's nice. It works out with my schedule. And so, one last question. I
Sure.
no, let's say no bins today. Are those bins over there? So do you ever go to the bins?
I've been there, but the bins near me scare me. Oh my goodness. I went one time and there was a bunch of like homeless people camping out in front of the bins, kind of being confrontational. And I heard stories from other people that have been there about actual confrontations that happened. And I kind of didn't want to be part of that. I hustled on
Yeah,
inside. I shopped around. I bought a couple of little things, but frankly, that was not where I thought I wanted to keep on sourcing. So just too shady.
yeah,
It was not the right place for me. I'd
yeah.
much rather go to yard sales. I love community sales. I love community sales.
Like
Uh,
church sales, or you mean like the whole neighborhood?
like a whole neighborhood where
Yeah,
a realtor who oversees this whole area or this homeowners association will say, okay, guys, we're all doing one sale this year. It's this day from this time, start at this time, end this time. Make sure you're cleaned up, get rid of your stuff because
yeah,
everybody puts it out. They're all motivated to sell. I've gone to as many as like almost 300 houses in one day because of these things. Yes, just driving around every third or fourth house, boom, another sale, another sale, another sale. My
I
car is like, please make up your mind. I'm like, shh, just drive to a few more sales. I have filled up the car, and then when the sale ends, everybody pushes the stuff out to the curb, and it's free for all. You
That's
can
what I was
fill
gonna
your car. Yes,
say! Garbage day is the best.
yes. Right after the community sale, it's just everything is free. You just load up.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I was driving down the road with my son, and I told you he's 14. He's like, "Oh my god, mom." He's like at that age, right? Like, "Oh my god,
Uh-huh.
mom's such a dork." So I freaking slam on my brakes in front of this beautiful house in my neighborhood. It's my favorite house. I love it. And they had a yard sale. And I slammed on my brakes because there was a coffee table. I
Mhm. Uh-huh.
was like, "You gotta get out and help me get this coffee table in the back of the car." It's like, "Are you really turning around to grab from that lady's garbage?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I totally have it downstairs in my living room.
Darn straight. You might be a reseller if
I know, right? I have no shame. I'm like, "Ooh, it's
Mhm.
a rocking chair. Can we cram it in my car?" Yeah. So, but I know, and you know what the nicest thing for me is, and this is like, how I am, and you'll get a load of it. But I love the community sales, and I love garage sales because of the human connection that you have with people. It's my favorite part. Going
Absolutely.
in, saying, "Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, look what a great job you did with everything, and it's all out, and blah blah blah." And I love that because they're happy generally, right?
Mhm.
They're happy to sell their stuff. They're happy to see you. They're in a good mood. It's not raining, hopefully. Most of the time, it's not. So, and I just like it. It's fun. It's
Oh,
fun.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Right
I
there
totally,
with you 100%.
yeah, it is. It's fun. It's
And they
fun.
have so many stories if you'll listen to them. Now, I like to shop and listen at the same time. So I'm looking over the table, chit-chatting with them for a while, get them to gab at you. I've heard so many amazing things from people who you're retired from one type of job or people who have moved from this area of the world or all kinds of things. Great stories. I'll be honest, I can't remember a single one
Yeah,
while I'm trying to think of them,
right. But when you're there, it's such a good
but
vibe. Yeah.
absolutely, makes my day whenever I get to hear from these people, and it works real well into a good negotiation style too. If you're chatty and conversational, you can absolutely work some amazing deals that someone who's not willing to put themselves out there that way would be
Yeah.
able to get. You open doors that way with a smile.
You totally do. And I also think, like, with honesty too, you do. If somebody's talks to me or whatever, I'll always say like, "Oh, I'm a single mom and I love shopping." I'm honest. I'm just truthful, and I have a little store and blah blah blah. And usually, the people are just so happy to help you out. They're happy that you're honest with them, and they're happy that
Mhm.
you're talking to them because there's so many people that are just freaking rude. And they come in there and they're ripping through their stuff and everything's a mess. And then you walk in with this nice big smile and you're like, "Hi, how are you?" It's makes a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
difference.
Oh,
Huge.
yeah. Real quick, Scott, Cha-ching King. Hey, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You're saying church and community sales for the win. Totally.
Oh,
So much profit in such a small time. Absolutely.
I know, I know. I love church sales are probably my favorite. So you have a
And
question. You have a question here. Are you ready? Okay, so Cha-ching King says, "What is the craziest thing you've ever found on the road?"
uh, a possum.
Rated PG, please.
Yeah, so craziest thing I ever found on the road. There's a good one. I was trying to get to one sale. I had marked it on the map, and I was trying to get from point A to point B. Ooh, but there's another yard sale, so I take a turn over there. And there's another one I turned over there. Before I knew it, it was noon. The sale I was trying to get to had closed. They were closing at noon. It was past noon, and they had pushed all the leftovers out onto the curb, and they were done. And I looked at the curb, and I'm like, "There's nothing here. It's garbage. There's like broken wicker baskets, and there's clothes that were probably way stretched out." I'm like, "There's just nothing." And I kind of like turned over a box and moved things out of the way, and there was this shiny little snow globe, shiny big snow globe, about yay big with a base on it. Okay.
Wow, okay.
And I'm like, I don't do glass. It's going to break in the mail. I'm not gonna snow globe. Nah, I'm not gonna snow globe. So I picked
Yeah,
the silly snow globe up because I'm curious. I told you earlier, I'm nearly infinitely curious. I've
yeah.
never sold a snow globe. I don't know what it's worth. $5, maybe. Who knows? It's free. I'll take it home. It was a Wizard of Oz snow globe. And
It
I
was?
looked at it was a Wizard of Oz. And it had a little turn key on the bottom. So I turned it and it started singing Yellow Brick Road or something like that. And something inside the globe was rotating, one of the little figurines in it. And little figures around the base were rotating. I'm like, well, that's kind of fancy schmancy. Maybe a little more than $5. So I kind of look it over and I was expecting chunks broken off of it because a lot of these, their little intricate parts get busted. All the glassware, all the figurines, you got to look them over real carefully for busted parts. Okay, so I get it home and take a look. San Francisco Music Box Company or something to that effect. I was like, geez, I don't know. This looks nicer than any snow globe, any Wizard of Oz snow globe I can find at all on eBay. There's no comps to price it by. San Francisco snow globes seem to be a little pricey, but there's just nothing to go off of. So I'm like, okay, my competition's at about $110, 400. So I put
No.
it up. I put it up for $400 with the best offer. And after I waited a few months, I got a couple lowball offers, 50, 60. I got someone that offered me 250 and I took it right away. 250 for a free snow globe I found in a garbage pile by the side of the road. So that's my story there, Cha-ching King. Craziest find on the side of the road.
That's
PG, PG, of course.
cool. PG. Yeah, okay. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's
So
easy.
be willing to step outside of your comfort zone into a new niche, especially if it's free. And if it's free, you have a lot easier time just tossing it if it didn't work out.
Oh yeah. And the thing is that I mean, I grew up garage selling with my mother, so I've been garage selling and I haven't been reselling, long, obviously, but I've been shopping that way my whole life, and it's just so
Hmm.
fun. I have one more question for you,
Yeah.
and whenever you get tired, you just tell me you're tired and you want to go. What have you sourced within the last week that you thought was really special? And I always tell everybody this show is more like a talk show. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the most expensive thing you sold. It could be. I'm not saying you can't say that,
Mhm.
but is there something that you thought was like you were connected to or you thought was special that you found this week? You don't even have to say.
That's a tricky one because I don't get emotionally connected to the stuff I pick up. To me, there's a mean to an end. I think it's neat if I find something that maybe I knew of as a kid or used as a kid, and so I think, oh, Darkwing Duck. I got a Darkwing Duck bank. That's cool. I used to watch it. Let's sell it. For
Yeah.
me, it's the way I get to profit. And so I'm maybe it's a little bit of a flaw, but I don't get emotionally connected to any of the inventory whatsoever. It's here for a purpose. And quite frankly, I want it to go away as quick as possible. Um,
That's a
cer-
good way to look at it.
Certain things are fascinating. There's things that do fascinate me though. Like I picked up an electric typewriter and a bunch of accessories for it yesterday. And instead of what I was expecting, where you press the keys and little like things would come up, and
Yeah.
the old typewriters that they
Yeah.
always show on TV shows. Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. Instead of that, it's electric and it has a little rotating ball that it presses the paper against. And I thought, well, that's really fascinating. So I made a reel on it. There's the reel up on Instagram. Just wanted to see how many people knew what it was already. And so I put
Oh,
it up.
that's what that little round thing was with the
That's
little.
what that is. I
Oh
thought
my
that's just
God.
interesting. Let's put that up. Emotional connection? Nah, not really.
Nah. See,
Not
you're
really.
good though. That's good because see, that's where you get trapped. See, like me, I see something, I'm like, oh my God, it's an owl. I love owls. They're so cute. I have 50 freaking owls and like no place to put them. So yeah. And then I was obsessed with baby blankets because somebody told me, like, oh, baby blankets are really good. You can sell them. I have like 30 baby blankets.
Oh my goodness.
Can't get rid of them because they smell so good when you wash them up and they're cozy. And I love to be cozy. I love cozy. I can't be emotionally connected. So I need to I don't know, follow in your footsteps. I'm gonna work on it.
Depends what you're trying to achieve. If profit really is your goal,
Oh,
act
hoarder.
in line with profit. If a collection of some sort is really what you're looking to do, hey, you're getting there.
No, I think that it's a very good quality to have to be able to disconnect yourself with things and just go on and, because then you end up a hoarder, right? And I
I
feel that way sometimes. You don't, but, I end up with piles of clothes up to my eyeballs. And like I said, but, I mean,
No, I hold it very loosely. There are times I took an entire bin of stuff that I had listed and I said, it's not selling. It's not here to stay. It's not paying rent. I take it and just right into the trash can. It's done.
wow. Yeah,
And someone might hear this and say, well, you should have taken it to Goodwill. Maybe Goodwill couldn't sell it either.
right.
Really,
Well,
really.
you never know. I mean, somebody might find it or something. I know what you mean. Sometimes you just need to get stuff out of your way. Like we started out this conversation talking about cleaning. So yeah, but
I like this. Cha-ching King over here was saying that he found what did you say you found? It was a table, an early 1930s occasional table inlaid with a glass tray cover, middle of the road, completely unscratched. Middle of the road. Wow. Goodness gracious. I've got another crazy find story. This was before I was a reseller.
yeah,
We're not running short on time, right? This
no,
this
I'm
is even wilder. Okay. I've never told this one. This is something.
it's a non-alcoholic Heineken. Just letting you know,
Oh,
I don't drink alcohol, so it's an NA. I'm drinking. Excuse me. Go ahead.
hey, whatever makes you happy. So I was leaving college. I think I had just graduated and it was the last week. Everybody was moving out all at once. That frenzy where people are like flinging furniture out of their dorm rooms as quick as they can. They're taking everything, getting the heck out of Dodge. And as I was walking to the car on the ground, I saw something smashed and it was like there was pieces all over. And I'm like, what's that? About yay big. So yay big. It was a case. Took a closer look. Some sparkly stuff. It was a gemstone collection of some kind.
What?
It was a gemstone collection of some kind. And so I actually grabbed it, picked it all up. I'm like, somebody lost this and they're going to be missing it. So I walked down to the security office and I said, hey, security, has anybody reported a gemstone collection missing? They're like, no, you can just leave it here and we'll just keep it if nobody collects it. I was like, how
Hmm,
about I just like leave my number and someone can call me? Yeah, whatever.
good thinking.
Yeah. So nobody called. Nobody ever put up any message saying, hey, did anybody find it? I actually posted messages around campus. Hey, I found somebody's collection. If you can identify it, you can have it. Nobody got back to me. Nobody. I kept these things for probably 8 years and ended up taking them down to a flea market. to a lady that deals in gemstones. And I said, can you tell me if they're real? And is that something you want to buy? And so she offered me a dollar value. It wasn't very high. She said, I think they're probably fake, but I've got a gemologist. They'll take a look at it. They'll tell me. So I went back and saw her again. She said, yeah, they were all fake except this one over here. We'll still give you this much for it. And, you can just say yay or nay. I said, yeah, sure. It's fine. It's yours. That's money I wouldn't have had otherwise. So I didn't get rich off of that at all. But it was one crazy find. I never expected to find gemstones in the middle of the road.
That is kind of random, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what else is going on. Dumpster diving. I love dumpster diving. Maybe dumpster dive at Will's.
Can't beat free. I've taken some commercial microwaves from near a dumpster and flipped them for $700. Way to go, Dustin.
Wow.
Now we're talking.
Cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, going back to what we were talking about earlier with making money off of selling brands, one of the things that I've also been kind of talking about on my channel is maybe thinking about picking up pieces of clothing that you wouldn't normally have picked up like a year or two ago. Like, for instance, cute stuff by Loft, stuff like mall brands, nice stuff by Ann Taylor, like not Mandy and that kind of stuff, but maybe certain pieces of Banana Republic that are leather or they're trousers and they're good for work wear because career wear, we're going back to work again and stuff like that. But I think it's really important. For me, like to have a limit of what kind of like return I want to get on something. But at the same time, I feel like, especially with clothing, that I have to be conscious of the prices that people are going to pay for things. And I have to be able to provide cute things in that price point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's kind of the risk of being a reseller, that those who would criticize us don't usually take that into account. There's always calculated risk. You can buy these items and you're going to pay shipping, you're going to pay fees, you're going to pay the cost of goods. And depending where you sell it, you may end up paying taxes out of your own pocket, or it may be collected by the marketplace. And those things all have to be figured out beforehand before you can even buy. And there's a lot of knowledge and experience that's going to go into that. That's required in order to sell successfully and profitably. Experience helps a lot. And so thinking about that beforehand is actually a really good idea. The weight on the items is becoming more and more important too. If it's going to fit in a flat rate mailer, or whether it's going to go first class, or maybe it doesn't fit in the flat rate mailer and now you're paying $12, $14 to ship it.
Oh yeah.
I sold some overly large clothing items, like a snowsuit kind of thing. They didn't fit in the cheaper mailers. I had to actually put more shipping into it than I expected.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, right? I know I kind of stick with Poshmark and they make it kind of easy for me, but I've been working a little bit. I've been working a little bit with eBay. So I just keep coming up with more questions.
Sure, I love it.
Are you selling on these live selling platforms, and what do you think about them?
I think they're amazing for other people. I think there's so much, much opportunity.
That was so PC.
No, I love that other people are doing it, and I have no desire to do it myself at this point. Things change. Opportunities change, and my opinions may change in the future. Right now, I love that I can list something at 11 in the evening. I could list it at 7 in the morning, and I could think about it not at all for the rest of the day, and it sells.
Right.
I don't want to be holding up items personally and saying, okay, who wants this one? I would much rather do my work when I have the time, instead of setting a specific time and having people try and meet me there. Now, other people are absolutely killing it. Rachel's son Dello is doing Lego whatnots, and he made like $500 in an hour selling nothing but Lego, and that's fantastic. I admire him for that. I don't envy the whatnot success. I'm thrilled that he is doing it. I'm sticking to eBay right now because that more closely fits the business model that I'm looking for. Amazon too, and eBay. Between the two of them, doing pretty good, and I got my hands full.
So you do sell on Amazon then? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
I
I don't
do.
know.
You can sell a lot of used stuff on Amazon, especially media, video games. Video games are big. If you can get ungated in DVDs, there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah,
But I'm not there yet. They need invoices for that, and so I haven't quite gotten there.
gotten to that. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I agree with you about trying to do wholesale and stick with one thing just to
Yeah.
make things easier.
Now, I got a question for you. Have you ever tried buying liquidation clothing or like buying out a store that's liquidating or things like that?
No, I haven't. The only thing I've done is I've bought a couple of boxes from ThredUp,
Hmm.
which I don't know if that's not exactly what you're talking about, but I haven't yet. I mean, I'm really still learning, and
Hmm.
I love adventure. I'm open to anything. I would love to, but I do all this stuff by myself, so it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have your wife helping you, that's cool. I mean, if I order a freaking pallet from wholesale, I think I'm gonna have a breakdown because I like, can't even get the damn box open. Seriously, I would be like I can't.
Oh my goodness.
No, no, no. I think I might spontaneously combust. Like
Don't do
you did
that.
in
Don't do that.
your video where you exploded. Oh my gosh, you guys have to see that along with the tape.
Uh-huh.
Hi guys, I flipped that just popped on. How are you? Hey, welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. All right. Let's catch up a little in the chat. I love the history of the things attached to the things we find. That's Cha-Ching King. Michelle on the next episode of Hoarders, says Mountain State Rigorous. Note to self, dumpster dive at will. Sure, Scott, come on over. And you know what? You can stay for dinner, come hang out with us, and you can check out all the inventory that I can't move.
Exactly.
Uh,
Um,
let's see. What else do we got in there? Priority Regional A is going out. Yeah, if you got your boxes, you're in good shape. I have a few of them left too. Scott does not want to sell live. Right there with you.
so oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no, go for it.
I was gonna say, I talked to somebody who was saying that she felt one of the reasons why her sales were tough is because people are buying more live on Whatnot or Poshmark.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, I mean, I've toyed with the idea as well, but I just think there's got to be a way if you want to live sell that you could, for instance, on Friday night at 8 o'clock, you could set up your own little thing where you've got 15 items and you like do 15 and you write them all. Like there's a way to do
Mhm.
it where you could do it on a small scale and not have to pay. You
Yeah.
get like 20% on Whatnot. Not,
Oh, do they?
yes,
I
it's
had
a
no
lot.
idea.
Makes so much money. And I was laughing my butt off because I saw this sweatshirt when I was
Mhm.
at Goodwill and I walked by and I'm like, it's a black sweatshirt. I look, it was a Whatnot sweatshirt at Goodwill.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, somebody got canned or something.
They got themselves banned, sold something they weren't
I was like,
supposed to,
I'm like, I definitely don't want to
or
wear a Whatnot sweatshirt.
or or they retired.
This is true.
Mm.
This is true.
What else we got? I want to catch up a little bit. The black dress off Michelle's right shoulder looks amazing. Beautiful.
Oh, thanks. That one I have listed in my closet, and it's by Mac Studio, and it's really pretty. And I actually thought about keeping it. I'll bring it up so you can see. I actually thought about keeping it for myself, but like you said, I mean, there's so many things that you can keep that. But this is really pretty. It's Mac Studio. Yeah. So if you
I'd
like it, message me.
I'd flip that is in the house. Welcome, glad you're here.
Hi. Hey, let
All
me
right.
see. I'm
I
getting
think
used to seeing these names.
Cha-Ching King is saying he's bought from bankruptcy auctions many, many times. Oh, good.
How do you
That
find those places?
I
Like,
don't know. I'll
like
tell you my story. When I bought liquidation, I saw that there was a store there's a mall near us that's really not doing well, and they've been limping along for a long time. And the stores have a strange habit of showing up for a year or two and then going under. And then a new one takes its place and it goes under. So I knew that with the 2020 global happenings and such, and commerce kind of all going down and malls having a tough time, I said, I know something's going to go up in this mall. So I walked up and down it every couple of weeks. And sure enough, this clothing store was starting to go out of business. They put up signs, everything 50% off, liquidation, store closing. So
Got it.
I walked into the person at the counter and I said, who do I talk to about buying everything? And they said, you mean like some clothes? And I said, no, like all of it, everything. Who do I talk to about that? They're like, we'll have someone call you. Well, yeah, give us your number. So I give them my card right there. I didn't hear anything for 2 whole weeks. And I was like, I probably messed that up. I didn't do well on that one. I should have gotten their number. That would have been smarter. But
Oh,
they didn't seem to know it. I kind of tried, but I couldn't. Anyways, I got a call. It was like a Friday night, late 10 p.m. or something like that. Something that didn't make a lot of sense. And so I pick it up. Hey, how's it going? They're like, hey, you still want to buy our store? Yeah, I do. How much you got left? We got about this much left. And they told me roughly. I said, sure, I'll come in tomorrow and I'll bring a helper and we'll load it all up and we'll be done. And they haggled with me on price. They said, oh, yeah, so you can have it for 90% off. I said, well, wait a second. You were selling to everybody else all day yesterday for 90%. I don't want to pay that. I said 92 to 95 is where I want to be. Here, I thought I was a real shark. And she goes, 92, done. Yep. I'm like, oh, I probably could have done a lot better than that. Turns out Resale Rabbit put out a video a couple of months later saying, hey, I just bought some of this exact same store that I bought, and he got it for 98% off. 98% off, 2 cents on the dollar. That $100 dress over there for $2. Yes. Yeah. So anyways,
yes, we love that.
So he beat me. There's no doubt about it. Resale Rabbit definitely beat me. But it was my first liquidation store that I had ever actually purchased out like that. I bought some other stuff in the past, kind of never done anything that big. And so I ended up clearing out this whole store by hand, and they scanned it doop, doop, doop by hand, every single UPC. And then they goofed up a little bit and they had to go back and try it again. And then they couldn't remember how much that. So I think stuff ended up just getting thrown into my pile without getting scanned because they couldn't figure out what they did and what they didn't do. I think. I don't know. That was supposed to be their job. Anyways, so then they calculated it up and they said, well, it's automatically put in at 90% off. So we're going to do 90% and then give you 2%. And I said, that's not how math works. I said, no. It has to be 92% initially. Well, we can't do that. So I had to do the math and figure out that it was like, I don't remember now, 5%. Somebody in the chat tell me, check my math on this, but it was something like 5% off of the 92% number. Wow. Anyways, we got it all to work out, and that saved me a couple $100, I think. The difference between 92 and 90 plus 2. So anyways, I filled up my car. I filled up my neighbor's car. He was my helper. And we brought it all back, and it was 315 pieces of clothing with an average retail price of something like $40 to $50. And it it sat on my garage floor while I went one piece at a time and took them, photographed them, listed them. And when I found multiples of the same one, I was so excited because I had to list one time, and I could put a multiple quantity. We have 6 of these. Yes. Yeah. Highly recommended. If you're going to do that, try and get multiples of stuff. Get liquidation where you get lots of it.
With my nightgowns, though, and then I started getting really nervous that Poshmark wasn't keeping track of the ones that were being bought, the sizes. So then, like I said, every time somebody buys something from me like that, I need to go back to that listing and check. I have like a panic attack. But anyway, I think we all go through that.
Couple more comments. Let's go back. We have High Bid Auctions has an app that's pretty awesome, says Mountain State Pickers.
Oh.
Cha-ching King. Typically, nobody shares the name of the companies that do actual bankruptcy auctions. In Texas, I follow the company called Rosen Systems. They do court-ordered auctions.
Cool. Oh, thanks. Thank you for sharing.
Store closing sales, says Melanie, are a great place to buy supplies. I got a commercial steamer, mannequin, and shipping supplies for way less. Hey, slick. Wow. Things you can use for your store. Yeah.
That's a really good
Mountain State Pickers. Oh my gosh, Will. Yes, very much gosh. I picked up the mannequin the same way, says Scott. Great.
Scott, can I ask you a question about your mannequin? Is your mannequin made of velvet, or is it wood, or made of something slippery? I'm asking for a reason because it takes me so stinking long to get the damn thing on the velvet. On the velvet, it's because this is like a wool sweater, and it was like trying to pull it, but it seems like the plastic ones might be too slippery. I was just curious. Just curious.
Melanie says, I went the last day before closing. They were actually giving away free racks and other things. Whoa.
No.
Not bad. There's some value in those. Some of the like shelving that they'll put on, that's like industrial level stuff that's made to withstand practically bombs. And some of those are actually worth shipping, depending how much you get and what sizes they are.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
The clothing standing racks, like the wheeled ones that just kind of move around, I don't know that you can make anything shipping them unless you grab a whole bunch and you do like a LTL sort of thing. That might work out possibly, but me, I've never dealt with the racks. I like things that I can fold up and put in a bin, and it sits in my garage nice and easy.
Yeah.
I may have rolled a big rack up the road to my house a few blocks. I'm sure it was a fun. Melanie, way to go! That's some hustle.
Mountain State Pickers, thank you so much for answering my question. The velvet ones are good for silky type clothing and buttons up. Okay, cool. Maybe I should get a couple more anyways. But people were saying, question, do you think that things sell more quickly or at a higher price if you put them on a mannequin?
Is that a question for me or for the chat?
Oh, for you and for the chat. If anybody's into clothing, I was just curious.
Not me. Clothing's not my best niche. Actually, I kind of just bought this Christopher and Banks stuff, this whole entire store. It was all women's clothing, which I knew nothing about, but I knew if I got it for 92% off, I could make some profit on it. It turned out it was a lot of stuff that was suitable for things like interviews. So I was making an effort to sell it as interview wear when everybody was losing their jobs at that time. I'm like, there's going to be an unfulfilled need right there. And I pushed that out. I did not put hardly any of it onto mannequin forms. I have a mannequin and it takes so long. I don't want to do that. And that's, for me, it's demotivating, and clothes will sit if I got to put them on a mannequin. A long, long dress that is not going to lay on my photo table, if that's got to go on a mannequin, it's probably going to be at the bottom of my death pile for a while.
Yeah.
So for me, other people may have completely different answers.
I would love, if anybody's here hanging out who's into women's clothing, I would love to have a guest on the show that would talk about clothing with me, and someone who's well seasoned, so I can learn. I'm putting it out there. But I put whatever I can on the mannequin and pants and lay things flat. Melanie says that. Yeah, Melanie, I think so. I think that putting stuff on the mannequin for me makes a difference because I like larger size, 2Xs and things like this. So when I put it on a mannequin and I can I don't pin it to change the shape of it, but I learned from being in fashion just to take it in a little bit so you can see the shape of it on the mannequin. And I think that certain patterns are important to see it, like standing straight on a form. I don't know. That's me, though. I'm sure there are much faster ways. I'm a little bit of a slow. I enjoy it, so I take my time, and it's not the most lucrative way to do it, maybe, but I have fun. We have fun. Who else is in here? I would like a clothing person also. Yeah.
I'm trying to think who's the right person to ask on that. I mean, Rachel does clothing. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I do.
Do you watch Hustle at Home Mom?
No, I only watch.
Write that one down too. Hustle at Home Mom is great. She's been around for a while, and she does. I'm pretty sure clothing is really just her niche. She doesn't do much else, as far as I know. Maybe like handbags and stuff too. She does a fantastic job, and she's kicking butt selling clothes.
Yay! Hustle at Home Mom. I'm going to be coming over and checking out what she's got going on over there. Who else is on here? Oh, live model is a good idea too.
Live model. Okay,
Yeah.
Mountain State Pickers, I am not modeling any of those Christopher and Banks clothes. I'm sorry. Women's clothing doesn't look right on me.
They're pear shaped, and you're long and skinny. It's not going to work, right? It's the pear shaped thing.
I'm shaped like a matchstick. My goodness. True story. True story. One year for Halloween, I literally went as a matchstick, khaki clothes, and dyed my hair red. Yes, and it worked.
That, you know what? That's really, 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 really funny and super creative. Oh my gosh. I'm on State Pictures is cracking up. Thank you, Dustin, for being so amazing and putting up all these links for people who are asking stuff. Thank you. I can barely turn on this. What is it called? StreamYard. I'm getting the hang of it though.
Dustin, you're the man. Thank you.
So yeah.
Hey, does everybody watch Dustin's show too? McFlip'n'Ship? He puts up content all the time on YouTube and also Instagram. Fun stuff. And he is rapidly getting really good at editing. His stuff's very entertaining.
It is definitely. You have to go and check it out.
Mogi Beth. Yes. Actually, I've seen a little bit from her. Not much, but yeah, Mogi Beth is good too, says Cha-Ching King.
Mogi Beth, and who's the other one? She's from Champaign, Illinois. She is the singing teacher. Something on Poshmark. I can't think of her name. She's a singer, of course, teacher. She's pretty popular. I don't know. As soon as we get off, I'll remember.
Isn't that always the way? Just put up a reel on Instagram.
Park.
Just put up a reel. Hey, this.
It was Becky Park.
Becky Park.
On Poshmark. Becky Park on Poshmark. The tongue twister. Becky Park. Yes, Cha-Ching King. That's it. Exactly. Becky Park. Yeah.
Good.
He's good too.
El Ducho and Jack and Ryan both got recommended as well. Cool. Yeah, I'm familiar with the first one. Jack and Ryan, I don't think I know them.
Can I talk about something that's really important that I think can make us all a lot of money? Yeah. And this is kind of a funny thing. I should do it. Product placement. So I was on Guiding Light, which was owned by Procter and Gamble, not CBS, which people didn't understand that Procter and Gamble actually owned our show. So towards the end of the show, yay and nay, because when you have corporate America involved with something creative, sometimes it's a little bit stifling. But towards the end, right, because it's corporate America, it's not, if we weren't making enough money from them, even though we had 1.5 million viewers when we went off the air. Yeah. So yeah. What was I saying? So we went.
You're talking about product placement.
Yes, product placement. So towards the end of the show, they were doing product placement. And it's so important to diversify your product placement so that you can get and be endorsed by lots of different kinds of people. I learned this full on. Now, I mean, I have my Heineken 00. That's my thing. But what
Space for rent. Space for rent.
Space for rent. And so I usually talk about one NA that I really like when I'm here. But what I've been doing, and I know it might be totally annoying, but there's reasons to do these things, is I heard that using your stories for more personal things, and then using your YouTube and your Instagram stories and your Instagram lives or whatever for products. So, I mean, for reselling. So that's what I've been doing. And I know that I've probably been annoying a ton of people by doing, like, I call it, what am I doing now? Be like driving, or I'll be shopping, or I'll be blowing my hair out, or I'll be putting lotion on or something. So it broadens your horizons of things that people will want, what you can monetize on.
Interesting.
Okay. So it's important. Like I was talking with somebody about, for instance, this is talk about money-making stuff. You know how we can get these free little things you slide in, or the stickers that you put the address things on, right? You can get them if you buy the fancy machine, or you can order the slip things in. Those things are really good, but one of the things that we should remember is the more stuff we show, the more stuff we will monetize on, right? So
Hmm.
have some 3M tape around. If you don't use the 3M tape, who gives a crap? You are standing there, you are using your tape as you're talking, right? You're saying you're using your tape, even if you're really not, just to keep brands in front of people. And I feel like sometimes with reselling, I'm going off on a tangent right now. Sometimes with reselling, some of these brands don't want to know that they're being resold on Poshmark for $10.
Huh.
Right? So you're tagging them and you're like, woohoo, Lord and Taylor, cashmere sweater, got it for $10. They're not like going to necessarily like that. So, and if you're not like me, if you're not really into computers, and I don't know how to use computers very much, a lot of what I'm excited about doing, and I'm just putting it out there for other people to think about, is taking your stories or taking your little things once in a while, this reels, whatever the heck they are, and try to get some of those lifestyle things in there so that people will look at you for other things. Pots and pans,
Interesting.
cleaning,
So
cooking.
how do you launch this sort of thing? Do you go and speak to the brands directly, or are you thinking more items that you already have in your store, but you're actually showing, say, I sold this mug if I had a bunch of these on eBay or something, and this is always the mug I'm drinking. Oh, by the way, check out my eBay. It's on there. Something like that.
That's cool. That works. But I'm thinking like more broad. Like I'm thinking, for instance, just maybe I'm using my, I have my, I'm just, for instance, let's just say this had, a name on it, Smith, who made it. If I
Hmm.
was writing something and holding something and I had something here, right? It's like
Would
subtle.
you would work with that brand specifically? You would contact the brand and say, "Hey,
Yes.
I want your stuff in my videos, and you're going to pay me for it." And they
Or you
go,
would
"Oh,
tag
yeah,
them.
cool."
Yeah, yeah, you would tag them and then, give it some time. Do it a couple of times so you're not looking, because when you tag them, they can go back and look at what they've been tagged in. So if you do it a couple of times, like, there's like I usually wear glasses, so silhouettes,
Hmm.
or and I'll tag them and keep tagging them. And then I'll write, well, I haven't gotten to that point, but I will write a note and say, "Hey, I love your glasses and I'm getting a great response from them. I would love to wear a pair." Or, so it just opens up your opportunity to be monetized by
That's
adding
pretty
in.
cool.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. I'm just looking for different ways to be able to not get bored, bring in
Hmm.
income, and still and be smarter, be like one step ahead of, you know, other people.
Oh, definitely. I see a lot of possible income streams in all of this. YouTube is definitely one of them, which is why I launched the channel. The intent was always to be monetized, and the way to get from having no viewers and nothing is to provide value constantly. And
Yes.
by doing that, I would gain an audience by giving value out, and eventually, in time, I'd receive value back through monetization. They would put AdSense on there. I could put affiliate links. That would be another stream of revenue. Um, SEO would drive people to, if I have a public store, then I could be able to push people towards that. Courses is another way to monetize. A lot of people do it. The more you monetize your social media presence, the more pushback you can start getting. So doing
Mhm.
it in a way that's elegant is very
Mhm.
important in my mind. And so I'm always conscious of that. Uh, part of why I Part of why I don't do the whatnot thing is because I don't want to sell to my own audience. That's not
Mhm.
my intent.
Mhm.
I want to be an extremely safe source of information where there's no
Mhm.
conflict of interest whatsoever. I will not be promoting this brand at all to my viewers because they paid me and it's in my store
Mhm.
and something. You're talking about brand product placement, which I could see working, but what I'm not trying to do is say, guys, you should buy this because the brand told me to buy it
No.
from me. It's in my eBay store. I want you to buy it from me.
Yeah.
That's not going to be what I'm trying to do. Product placement is absolutely in the realm of reason. Now,
Yeah.
lots of other resellers do that. They say, "Hey, look, I partnered with Rollo. You guys should buy this Rollo printer." And I love Rollo. Rollo is a great printer. I have a Rollo printer. It's great.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to try and sell my Rollo printers to the audience directly. I'm not going to look in my eBay store in my inventory and say, you guys should buy this from me. I'm looking at a different way of doing this, and it doesn't lend itself to live selling, but other people do fantastic at selling to their audience. Other people do just a different approach, entirely different.
Yeah, it is definitely.
It's a very different approach. So, I think there's a lot of opportunities to monetize. Selling to the audience is one of the easiest ways,
Yeah,
but it's not what I'm looking for.
No, I mean, it has to be done really subtly. Like you are working out or you're riding your bike or whatever, and you can see that you have a helmet on. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. I always think about that kind of stuff. But
Scott says, I'm for sale. Scott, monetize however works for you, man.
For the right price, right?
No, I think there's lots of great ways to monetize. Scott's on pace to make 400 this month from Amazon affiliate links. I might want to pick your brain a little bit, Scott, because there's at times that I'll talk about products that I personally use, and I wouldn't mind putting affiliate links up there. I think that sounds fantastic. Dustin says, let's all get sponsored. Woo! Let's do it.
Woo! That would be great. That would be great. It's actually one of the reasons, coming from TV and film, a lot of my friends, because I am trained in makeup and skin and all that stuff, they were like, you should do beauty stuff. You should do makeup stuff. Let me tell you, that is the last thing that I want to do, because when you first start watching, and it happens with resellers too, and then they start getting sponsored and monetized, right? This isn't when they first start out. Well, I really love this and I really love that. And it's honest. They're not being paid, right? And I'm thinking, okay, she loves this oil Volet, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, like 6 months later, that's not your favorite anymore. This is your favorite. And that's not your favorite anymore now. This is your favorite. And I just stopped watching it because I just felt like, I don't think that they're really being honest. Like they're just being paid.
I think people do pick up on that. I think you hit on something that maybe a lot of people do see. They'll see the change. The loyal viewers will notice something's different. Now, if it's done in the right way, which I see a lot of people do, they'll say, hey, listen, Rollo sponsored this. I use my Rollo. I love it for this, and this reason. If you guys are interested, I have an affiliate link over here, or various things. And they're honest about it. And I think it's a good way to go if you're promoting a product you actually believe in. If you don't believe in your product, coming from a guy who does not monetize anything hardly at all right now, if you don't believe in your product, I don't think promoting it's the best thing for your channel.
Yeah. Well, people they feel that authenticity from you. If you're really, they feel that you're real and down to earth. And nobody likes to feel like they're like selling stuff. When we were in lockdown, I had a business that I couldn't continue doing during lockdown. And, it was like, I had to sell stuff. I was like, trying to feed my kid, and I'm an artist. Yeah. I mean, I've been busy doing things my whole life, but I'm still an artist at the end of the day. I need to make money. But I hated, even though I believed in what I was selling, and I really did believe in it, I hated being that one that, like, you see the message and you're like, oh, it's her again. She's going to want me to buy some friggin' cat snacks. You know what I mean? No. So anyway, but yeah, so let's see who else is on here. I'm an open book, a cha-ching. I'm no expert, but willing to share anything. I might accidentally know. Oh, come on. You're smarty pants and you know it.
Mountain State Pickle, Rollo, List Perfectly, or Vendu. Those are ones I wonder if the people that are pushing List Perfectly really use it as much as they say they do. Maybe they actually do, but I kind of get that weird feeling where people sort of take on like this, you guys should try List Perfectly kind of thing, and it doesn't feel authentic. I don't know. I haven't tried it out. And if List Perfectly is maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I use it. I use List Perfectly.
Oh, did I hit a nerve?
No. Oh my gosh, no.
Okay.
I'm in a place to be open where we can talk about everything and like whatever. I use List Perfectly, but I'm not very good on the computer. So that was a big deal for me. I mean, I like entering everything in and having it go to different sites. That's cool, but I'm running into some really big problems because I travel a lot with my son for sport, so I'm in the car a lot, and I
Mhm.
need to be able to remove items from List Perfectly if I sell them. Like, I need to be able to work off my phone, and I can't. And so I am looking around for someone who has an app or something where I can use my phone because I forget sometimes that, did I enter it in List Perfectly? I don't know. I've had some trouble with it, but I think some of it's my fault. Let's see who else is on here. Andrew Hensley, smiley face. Hi.
If you're a fitness trainer selling Doritos, it doesn't work well. That's right, Dustin.
Right, exactly. I do love Doritos.
Same will. They have parties and things. I wonder as well. Is it real or is it just the next popular thing for a short time? I don't know. I really don't know, but I catch weird vibes and I listen to those. My gut tells me what to look into more. And my gut just kind of says something with everybody pushing List Perfectly all of a sudden felt odd. If
I
it's
feel
working, Scott says it's working for him.
it
You say
is.
it's working for you, Michelle. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder. I mean, no, I mean, it's not. I'm dealing with it. Like, I don't love it. I don't hate it. If I, yeah, I don't. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I'm not sure
Scott
about
says, maybe it does work. Now I want Doritos. All right, Scott.
Doritos are one of my favorite foods, actually.
Andrew Hensley, welcome to the chat. I didn't see if that was your first message there.
No,
I don't think I welcomed you yet. Glad you're here, Andrew.
I'm glad you're here too, Andrew. Oh, let's see. Hey, Andrew, cha-ching. I'm not sponsored, but we love Rolo and List Perfectly. I pay for
Hmm.
both. Oh, I don't even know what Rolo is, but
It's a thermal printer. You got what,
oh,
maybe three big choices for thermal printers. You got Dymo, you got Rollo, and one other. It's not coming to my mind right now, but they're kind of the kings of the thermal printers right now. And
oh,
I replaced my old Dymo 450. It was a narrower one, so it could only print like a long, skinny label, the 450 Turbo. And I replaced it with a Rollo, whatever their wired one is. And I like the Rollo one better because it prints the 4x6 labels. So it works for UPS, it works for USPS. And if Rollo ever wants me to like display their thing that I'm using all the time already in the videos, they can contact me.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with writing them either, and
Hmm.
and being sweet and respectful and nice, and just be yourself. I love your stuff, and I'm getting a great following, and I'm dynamic, and I love your product, and just smile the whole time, and they'll hire you. That's how it works. Most of the time.
Oh my goodness. Smile and you get hired.
Usually.
Can I tell an off-topic story? Because you don't seem to mind my rabbit trails. Can I
No,
tell another
I'm
off-topic one?
actually enjoying
Oh
it. Go
my goodness. All right. There
ahead.
was one time when I went to an interview and I completely blew the interview and it still worked out. I was interviewing at a healthcare place and I met the manager and the assistant manager. And the manager introduced himself as Bob. And I was like, oh, okay, Bob. And somewhere in the interview, I forgot that he wasn't a doctor. And I mistook him for I started calling him, I'm like, Doctor, and I didn't know his last name, Dr. Bob. Doctor, okay, Dr. Bob. And so I called him Dr. Bob for the whole interview and he didn't correct me. I and then I got invited back for a second interview, and they brought in a chief of medicine for the department, and he was an MD. And so it was Dr. So and so and Dr. Bob. And I said Dr. Bob, and the other chief, like after the third one, interrupts me and says, "You just keep saying Dr. Bob. Why are you saying that?" Because he's a doctor. And they all looked at him, and he looked back at them, and then they all looked at me, and they busted up laughing.
Oh
Doctor
no.
Dr. Bob, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You ever heard the word stupid? If you hear the word stupid in an interview, you really blew it. That's the stupidest thing I ever did. Bob, you're getting that on your Christmas card now. He was Dr. Bob for like the next week straight, apparently.
Oh my
And
god.
I shook their hands, and here's the thing about back up a little bit because they were laughing so hard. I laughed along with them. I smile. I'm like, that is, yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I just laughed and laughed and smiled.
You made his
Mhm.
like month because he didn't correct you. He
By
loved.
accident, I completely made their day, and they saw me laughing along with them, and they knew that I was gonna be a good fit for the team because I could laugh at my own mistakes and keep
Oh
on
yeah.
rolling. I got the job. I got hired there after thinking I blew it and I'd have to go interview somewhere else. Got it. Nailed it. So anyways, just smile and you'll get hired is what you said? Yeah, there's something to that.
Be nice and smile. That's the thing. You can be
Mhm.
nice and smile. How do you be Scott? Great advice, Michelle. Oh, thanks. The type of content you make makes a big difference. Once you get monetized, huge difference. Ching says that. The type of content you make. Yes, 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 yes.
Mountain State Pickers. Flip is free. Yeah, I use Flip a little bit, and I take my eBay listings and plop them over onto Mercari with Flip. It's not perfect, but it's free, and so I sure do like the price. That's for sure.
Mercari. What's your vibe on Mercari?
It has very low traffic compared to the other marketplaces, and so I give it very little time compared to the other marketplaces.
Yeah, I don't have good luck on Mercari. I feel like
No.
people just like sniff around.
Mhm. Mhm. Lots of likes. I wish they would get rid of the likes thing because I'm not interested how many people like it. I'm interested how many people buy it.
Thank you. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I don't like it because I feel like if somebody likes something, then I'll lower the price once on it. Once. If I
Mhm.
and that's it. I won't go any lower
Mhm.
because I want it. It's just too much. It's too much of it. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with it either. I'm actually thinking about just going with Poshmark because eBay is something that needs a lot of attention. I feel like, not in a bad way, but if you start screwing up on eBay, you're going to be in big trouble. Then they won't let you sell there anymore. It's a serious, to me, I think they're all important, but with eBay, it's kind of a different thing. And I have been thinking, because I'm so busy with Jake and with sports and trying to do everything, that maybe it would just be easier for me to be on one platform and not screwing up I don't do it a lot, but
Mhm.
you have to be airtight with these things.
You're
It's a
talking about cross listing or are you talking about
thing. Yeah,
okay.
just sticking with one platform because I'm getting overwhelmed with Mercari
Mhm.
and with eBay. And part of that is I can't erase things on my phone, like I said, with List Perfectly. So
Mhm.
yeah. Anyway,
No, I'm a big fan of being very, very good at one platform, and then when things just don't sell, push
yeah,
them to the other platform if you need to, but,
yeah.
I mean, eBay was, gosh, 98% of my revenue from last year, and
Uh,
Mercari and Amazon, and, maybe it's a little bit less than 98% because I sold a bunch on Facebook Marketplace. Things that are just too bulky to ship profitably, yeah, I'll sell that on Facebook Marketplace, but yeah, most everything we made was eBay, and if I have my choice, I just stick to eBay as much as possible.
oh yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. I was always intimidated by the shipping, but then a friend of mine said, just put a flat rate shipping on it if it stresses you out, and either people will, and so I kind of been doing just
Mhm.
$7.
I did that for a while and switched over only to calculated shipping now.
You
It's
did?
all calculated shipping for everything in my store, and the reason is USPS rates just keep going up. Every 6 months, they're bumping up another dollar, another 50 cents, another dollar, and quickly, the things that I had listed earlier on that hadn't sold yet were reaching a point where I was losing money by sending them. So, it's all calculated now.
Yeah.
If shipping rates were staying steady, I could do a flat rate and just leave it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the easy thing about Poshmark, that I feel like they take so much money. So
They all do. They
yeah,
all
they
do. There's always every marketplace has to take their cut, and,
are, of
it's a
course,
cost of
just like
doing business.
it's like us. We have to be able to get decent prices for the things that we're listing that are, reasonable, because we have
Mhm.
to make a living on them as well. So, yeah, but
I don't
um
I don't stress about it, same as taxes. I don't stress about it because I know if I buy smart and I buy in volume, then I'll be able to sell in volume and I can make the money. I'm not worried about losing a little bit to taxes, a little bit to fees, a little bit to shipping. It's all figured out from the get-go. And
Right.
when I buy, I'm ready to just make the money.
Yeah. You just know. I see all these people getting these big pallets, these big Amazon pallets,
Hmm.
and 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 I'm gonna do some research because I don't expect everybody to give up all of their, special secrets here because that's, we all have to make money to do our own things. But
Look around locally, see if there's a place locally that sells those. If you wanted to buy one, uh,
yeah,
check and see because a lot of them they'll buy Amazon returns or Target returns or Home Depot returns, and then they'll sell them out of like a parking lot or a small building or something like that. And usually they just got a forklift, they're moving these things around, plopping them down. So I went to one that was south of Sacramento. I forget where, Vacaville or something. I'm not entirely sure. I went down there and I picked up one pallet, and it ended up being like a year-long listing spree. Things sold very poorly, and I made very, very little money on it. It was a waste of time for me
nice.
when I bought that. You can do better. Your mileage may vary, but it was enough. It put me off of it, and I wanted to go back to the stuff that already was very profitable for me. Yard sales.
Mhm.
Yard sales.
I know yard sales are the best, right?
Mhm. I
See, you
paid
guys,
I paid $8.50 for a pallet full of backpacks. It was all Amazon return backpacks. Almost all new condition. There was a few luggage things in there, and they weren't exciting brands. They
I
weren't. They were all
know,
kind of third party, cheap Chinese, poorly stitched.
I know, and I made a mistake.
Logos a little crooked.
Yeah, I made a mistake at a garage sale this year. This lady got sucked into those leggings with all the different
Mm,
crazy patterns on them. You know what I'm
mhm.
talking about? I don't know what they're
Yeah.
called. Yeah, it was that hi Luna. I so anyways, I walked in, this lady got screwed over by this MLM or whatever you want to call it. She had all this crap, she had all this jewelry, she had all these
Mhm.
jammies and all these leggings from this legging place. So I bought them, and I don't think I negotiated as well either. And the other stuff, I learned my lesson. She actually screwed me over. Actually,
Mm.
I told her I liked something, and I bought a whole bunch of pajamas like you did. I said, "Oh, I'll take everything for like $20 or whatever."
Mhm.
I got them home, and they were made overseas, and they were misshapen. The pants didn't fit. They were cut wrong. They were
No.
I couldn't use any of them.
Oh
Any of
no.
them. They were all what do you want to call it? Defective? Yeah,
Mhm.
all of them. And I was like, dang.
LuLaRoe, Mountain State. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
I'm gonna do 10 for 10 and get rid of
Mhm,
them. I can't get rid of them.
mhm. Yeah,
But
they were a big problem apparently. That it was sold as a MLM sort of situation, if I recall, and people
was
ended up with like tens of thousands of dollars of inventory they couldn't move, but they were obligated to get because you have to, in order to get the one you want to sell, you have to buy like these 10 other ones that you didn't want to sell. You got what they sent,
mm,
which was a mess, and it was MLM style. They imploded because of quality issues, last I heard. I don't think they still make them. I
no,
think
they
that's
don't.
all. I think they're gone.
Yeah, I have a bag of them upstairs. I've got to figure out what to do with those too. But yeah, listing in bulk. Listing in
Mhm.
bulk. So let's see what else is going on over here with our chat. Yes, state pickers. Thank you. Yeah, Lula Row, whatever it's called. I see them. I see it all the time when I'm sourcing and thrifting. Goodwill is full of their stuff now. Yes, it is. Cha-ching says, "Oh, I tried to buy some right before the bottom fell out, but the lady held fast to her price. And 2 months later, and I to eat this stuff. So lucky I missed out on that. I am too Cha-ching king for sure.
You dodged a bullet.
Just by your hair, right? Just by your hair. So anyway, but let's see, we have the same people. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up with you. I had so much fun listening to your stories. Thank you. Thank you for sharing those cool stories with us.
Sure, Michelle. This was a joy. I love chatting with you.
Me too. It's so fun. I love this style too. It's just kind of like easy and talk showy and fun. So thanks for coming on, Will. Really, I'm so excited and grateful, so grateful. And like I said, if anybody else wants to do something fun like this and talk about something they love in the business, please let me know. I would love to have you.
Do you have another guest lined up yet?
I do not next weekend. I think it's the weekend after that. I want to say I have to look it up. Somebody on the 11th, you're gonna kill me, guys. Yes, I'm booked. I'm going. Yeah, next week I think I'll be out of town next week in Chicago, and then doing work and playing there. And then the following weekend I do have somebody booked. So
Do you want to announce who it is, or is this kind of a suspense thing?
no, I'm gonna do a suspense thing.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll look forward to seeing how that shakes out.
I'm going to. I think I have to wait a couple of days to do it though, because it'll be in two weeks or something like that. But anyway, thank you, and let's do something again soon. Next time, if you want to chat and talk or anything, just let me know.
Yeah, sure. I have to think of other couple of stories I haven't told before.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure there's some.
I'm sure there's a lot. Well, good luck with everything. You don't need it. Just keep a shining light, and everybody loves watching you with your sense of humor.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you.
No, I mean it. I'm not trying. I mean it. Thank you. You're fun to watch, and you're very inspiring. So, on that wonderful note, I want to thank everybody for stopping in and saying hi to Will and to me. And it was so nice to meet everybody. And I can't wait to see you on my next episode of Show and Tell with Michelle, which will be on Saturday night at 8:00. And I will have to, surprise you guys with who the next one's going to be. So thank you guys.
Thanks everybody. You have a good one.
Have a great one. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.